Welcome back to the IE427 Garage, everybody. Today we've got Chad, who is the owner of the Mark IV, the King's Cobra, on his way down from Washington, so the state of Washington, to pick up his car. Now, he'll be stopping by the shop probably later this evening, and tomorrow morning, Saturday, bright and early, we're going to be loading up his car into a U-Haul trailer, and he's going to be taking this thing home back to Washington. So we've got everything ready here. We've got his car all shined up. So the gel coat is all in pristine condition. And we've got all of his excess parts set right here on the cart, all ready to be loaded up on his vehicle to make that trip back to Washington. So stay tuned, and we will get Chad's reaction and see what he thinks of the King's Cobra now that it's all kind of finished, and follow the journey probably tomorrow as we load this thing up and send it on its way home. All right, Chad, what do you think?
Beautiful. Excellent job. I told my wife this is like Christmas times 1,000.
And what did I tell you?
Probably paid a lot more for this than Christmas. Yeah, definitely true. This is a lot of Christmases.
Yeah, so I was kind of reminiscing the other night as I was finishing up one of the videos, and I thought to myself, you know, this isn't the first time that we've finished a car in gel coat for a customer. This is actually the third time, if you don't count Slytherin, because obviously I didn't have the channel back then. I didn't do a whole lot of posting on Facebook at that time, but it doesn't take away from any of the feeling that you get having like a completed car. And so I think my personal feeling is that you should always drive your gel coat car at least for a single season to kind of wring it out and, you know, really beat the crap out of the thing to find out whether, you know, everything's right and whether or not you're going to want to make any changes, and then, you know, then you can decide whether you want to get it painted. So Chad and I are going to go over the car for a few minutes, and we'll bring you back probably tomorrow, and we'll do a comprehensive, you know, on the car afterwards. It is Saturday afternoon, and as you can see, there is quite a change here in the main shop. We've moved some things around, so the Mustang is now moved. The dually is back where it normally is. I've got some cabinets that I need to assemble to go in this workshop that are on the back of the dually, and I'll probably get to those in the next couple of weeks. But we've got the Mustang over here, and then the coupe, of course, moved from the location right here where the Mustang is over into the main shop. So we're working on getting the Gen 2 Coyote with the boreless stacks ready to go to the dyno so they can do a run-in on it and tune the stacks. And we're going to start working on the Gen 3 coupe. So as you remember, we kind of left this where it was because it didn't make much sense for us to kind of jump around from one thing to the other to try to get work done on it, because we were really waiting for the engine. We had the transmission here, but we just didn't have the engine finished, and I really want to get the engine in place so we can start moving on this car. So the sooner we get that engine finished and sent to the dyno, the sooner we can get it back here, get the bell housing on, get the T56 transmission on it, and get it dropped in the car. About the only thing that I can do right now, other than get the engine ready, is get the chassis harness run through the tunnel. And once that's done, I'm kind of out of things to do. I don't want to put any more panels on. I don't want to put the radiator in. I don't want to do any of that stuff that's going to come back to kind of bite me in the ass later. So that's why this thing was kind of shelved or put off to the side. The Mustang has its own issues right now, and I don't want to get into those right now, but we will in a future video. So Chad left this morning about 7 o'clock. I think it was 10 after 7 when he finally pulled out of the driveway. And you guys just saw that video. And I haven't gotten an update from him yet. It's about 4 o'clock. It's 10 after 4 right now. I would suspect that he's probably gonna find a place to stay for the night. If we figured it right, he's probably gonna be pulling in about 8 o'clock tonight. And you know, he'll update me. I think everything's probably fine. I was gonna send him a text a little earlier, and I stopped myself because I figured he really ought to concentrate on driving. But I will send him a text later this evening and say, hey, how many thumbs up did you get on your way up to wherever you're staying tonight? Because that's the cool thing about trailer in the car on an open trailers. Everybody knows what you have, and so they pass by you, they take pictures, they wave to you, but the problem is they're not watching where they're going. And that's one of the reasons we have an enclosed trailer now, because we were towing one time and Mrs. IE 427 was driving, and as she's getting on the freeway, scratch that, we were on the freeway, someone else was merging onto the freeway next to us on the right hand side, while we had an 18-wheeler boxing us in from this side, and the people on the right side merging onto the highway were taking pictures and not watching where they were going. And so we decided at that time that no more open trailer, because people can't, do two things at once, drive and take pictures. And it's a lot easier on Mrs. IE427 when she drives now because it's just a big white box. And people don't know what's in it, and so they don't take pictures, and you guys kind of get the picture. So that's where we're at. Chad is on his way back home to Washington. He's gonna have at least one night stay on his way back, so I'm assuming he'll probably be pulling in to his house tomorrow, Sunday. Probably about the time that he got here last night, which was right around 6 p.m. And then, he'll have to worry about getting the trailer turned back in and all that stuff. But it was fairly uneventful. We got everything loaded up this morning in about 40 minutes. And then he was on his way. So I think that's where I'm going to end this video. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, please go ahead and put them down in the comments. As always, if you enjoy the content here, please do the like, the share, the subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.